Ladies and gentlemen, draft week is officially upon us. We are a couple of days away from the NFL draft. And listen, if you're a Giants fan, if you love the New York Giants, this is the place for you. I need you guys to tap in, subscribe, and also pull up 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Your boy's going to be live throughout the NFL draft, especially for round one and the following days. I need you guys to pull up and be in the building with me. It's going to be a huge event. I need you guys to pull up on that live stream, but it's time to get an answer, man. We've talked about Abdul Carter. We talked about Shedeur Sanders. We talked about it for majority of this past couple months. Listen, we're going to get our answers, We're going to get our answers this coming Thursday. So I'm excited for that, man. Make sure you're tapping in if you haven't already. It's been a long time, I feel like, since this past season, and we need to get our answers. Are we getting a quarterback? Are we going to get a different quarterback than we expect? We're going to be getting those things this Thursday, man. So make sure you tap in. But let's talk about the rumors and the topics that are at hand, man. Adam Schefter dropped an article this morning and pretty much summing up a lot of the rumors that are coming into the NFL draft and potentially even some trade candidates. He got a couple New York Giants on there, a couple familiar faces on there that we're going to be touching on today, man. And first and foremost, let's talk about why is this even a topic and who is the GM of the New York Giants and why would he even make a trade? Listen, Joe Schoen, if there's one thing that he's done since he's been with the New York Giants is that he's pulled off a couple of trades that I feel like have been pretty good value for the New York Giants. When you think about trading for Darren Waller, when you got assets back from a Kadarius Toney that he shipped off, when you think about making that trade for Brian Burns, when you think about even shipping off a guy like Leonard Williams and getting a second-round pick back, he's made a couple of moves, and you didn't really expect it to happen. You didn't really understand how it happened, and I'm not saying all of them worked out because Darren Waller is clearly, I guess it's a miss, but I would have took that swing anyways. But overall, Joe Schoen has cooked up some type of trade every season, and that's the one thing that's been missing in this offseason. You haven't seen the trade happen. And now, does it mean it's for sure going to happen? No. But with the NFL draft looming, and it looks like the Giants are setting up to take, this specific player, it could open room for other players to be shipped off, other players to be moved for different picks. And let's talk about it, man. First and foremost, we're going to be talking about Kayvon Thibodeaux. Kayvon Thibodeaux was deemed as one of the candidates to be moved, potentially during the NFL draft, potentially during this offseason. Why is this even a topic? Because it looks like the Giants are going to be drafting Abdul Carter. Listen, he's been a topic for the past couple weeks, especially heading into the draft. I want to let you know, man, that's my pick. Abdul Carter is going to be my pick. He's an edge rusher, and when you look at our edge room right now, we got Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeaux. Do you want to bring in a young star or a young budding star in an Abdul Carter with Kayvon Thibodeaux still trying to find his footing, trying to be that top pick, trying to show that he's worth that top pick? Listen, that's why it's a topic that Kayvon Thibodeaux could be shipped off. You've been hearing that a couple of other teams would be interested in it. It's hard to really tell, who would the teams be? I mean, who wouldn't want a young rising star at the edge rusher position? Some people think that Kayvon Thibodeaux is no good. Some people think that Kayvon Thibodeaux, hey, he had 11.5 sacks one season. Not a lot of players get to do that. And especially the fact that he's still 23, 24 years of age. Kayvon Thibodeaux still could be coming into his own. And especially with a couple of setbacks that he's had with a couple injuries, I mean, what would one healthy season or another healthy season look like for Kayvon Thibodeaux? Once again, 11.5 sacks. Not a lot of players can walk into that, and Kayvon Thibodeaux has already. So Kayvon Thibodeaux being a trade candidate is not a surprise for me. What would a return look like? Is it a round 3 pick? Is it a round 2 pick? Would you ship him off for a couple picks? What does that room look like? Could Joe Schoen actually make this trade? In my opinion, I would not move off of Kayvon Thibodeaux. I wouldn't, even with drafting Abdul Carter. You may argue, hey, if Abdul Carter's on this team, I mean, is he starting over Kayvon Thibodeaux? Is Kayvon Thibodeaux going to even get any reps if Abdul Carter's here or vice versa? Listen, get all the guys in the room and let's get it for 1 year. Let's see what it is. Kayvon Thibodeaux right now, pretty soon in the upcoming weeks, they have to make a decision if they're going to pick up his extension. Kayvon Thibodeaux is a candidate for that, and I think the Giants should pick up his extension and see what happens after this year. Let's roll with it for 1 year, a rotation of premier pass rushers. I think Brian Burns had a great year last year, kind of gets overlooked, but he was playing banged up all year and still produced a bit. Kayvon Thibodeaux was hurt last year. So if there's players that can get hurt, what better than to have a better edge rush room with more talent and a position that's already lacking depth? Why would I ship off one of those players? Let's see what he can do this upcoming year. And who knows, man? I mean, granted, the Giants haven't shown that they can trade their players and get the capital why they have them. When you look at a guy like Azeez Ojulari, that could have been shipped off. But I think you roll with it for a year, see what this room can do. And hey, if anything, I understand, these players want their contracts and such, but if Kayvon's locked up for another year, what could that year look like if they have a great year with Abdul Carter, obviously Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeaux? In my opinion, Kayvon Thibodeaux shouldn't be a guy that's moved, but he's going to be probably the most sought out player if he is deemed available compared to these other two players. The other two players that you saw is going to be Evan Neal and Jalen Hyatt. Listen, not too much on these players in terms of coverage. I'm perfectly fine with moving off of both of these players. Evan Neal, what would he be, valued at? I don't think the value would be extremely high. You might have, better of a chance to keep him and see what he can be at the guard position. Unfortunately, they waited too long, and probably last year should have been the year that you've seen him play guard. But they're going to try to roll him out at guard. He's not going to be a starting guard, but can he beat out another player and possibly get on the field? Listen, this guy was a former top 10 pick. He should have panned out for the Giants, and he just hasn't at this point. And if he's deemed tradable, I wouldn't imagine it would be for a lot, but any assets back would be a plus. It would be better than what he's doing on the field, which is nothing. Speaking on the other player in Jalen Hyatt, listen, Jalen Hyatt is a topic to be traded, and he was even a topic last year. Jalen Hyatt at this point, his first season, he didn't have too many reps, but you saw the ability in terms of him getting down the field and him being an explosive threat. Last year, he wasn't in the game plan at all. You didn't see any throws to Jalen Hyatt. You barely saw him get any reps, and when it did, it felt like, one, it didn't matter, or two, you didn't see the top being taken off just like it was the previous year. When you think about it, he had Tyrod Taylor doing great passes to him, and this past year, Daniel Jones just wasn't doing it for him. Jalen Hyatt wasn't in the game plan, and here we are before the year. It's looking like they're going to try to get him implemented like they were last year, and if he's deemed tradable, if he's getting back any type of pick, that's what I would do. And unfortunately, man, when you look at Jalen Hyatt's situation, they drafted a wide receiver after drafting Jalen Hyatt, and they traded up to get this guy. They traded up to get him when they drafted him. So thinking about this wide receiver room, in my opinion, I still would add a wide receiver in this NFL draft, and I'm perfectly fine moving off of Jalen Hyatt. What would it bring back? Obviously, it should be a little bit higher than an Evan Neal, but he has to have some type of, wants from another team. When you think about the speed, he has speed that maybe other guys don't possess. Maybe other guys can't get open vertically. Jalen Hyatt could be worth something, in my opinion. And if he's going to be a guy that could be traded, I'm not thinking twice about it. I'll pull the trigger. Listen, I know a lot of people love Jalen Hyatt and they think that his potential is untapped. If we're not, getting in on it, then why not just ship him off somewhere where he can, continue to improve, continue to get reps, and we can get some type of asset back. If the argument is the Giants are messing him up, then feel free to let him go and try to get some assets back. So if there is a trade to go down, you already know I'm going to be covering it, but make sure you are tapping in during the draft on round 1 or even night 2 or round 2 and 3. You could be a trade. You could see a trade happen, and who knows, maybe these players get traded to trade back up. There's rumors right now that the Giants are looking to draft a quarterback, whether it's Shedeur Sanders at 3 or not. They're looking to trade back up and try to get one of the quarterbacks that are in this class. Listen, those players might be included in that trade. We'll see what happens, man. But overall, I want you guys to let me know down below, man. What are your thoughts if these players were to get traded, and how likely is it? I want you guys to let me know how excited you are. Who do you think should be the pick in round 1, pick number 3 for your New York Football Giants? I will catch you guys on the next one. Stay tuned, man. It looks like I got a special guest lined up for tomorrow. And depending on when you're watching this, man, I'm going to have a special guest on today's live stream as well, man. So tap in while you can. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a special guest. And listen, it's going to be a great week, man. Draft week is here. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.